Well,
So today was a sad day. We lost somebody special.
we gonna talk about that right now.
Yeah, I say we open with it.
Open with a death.
I was gonna
Yes.
talk. I was gonna talk about
no,
something
not with
else.
a death, with an honor. What do you call it? An
Hold
honor-
on.
In memoriam.
We got
toast.
the intro music playing. So we're hearing the intro music,
with a toast.
and it's jamming. And we've got someone that died, and we're jamming to music.
Yes,
And enjoying this fine bourbon. I like
we
this
are.
one.
This is a very fine bourbon. I'm very, very pleased with this bourbon.
Smelling some caramels.
Ooh, yeah, I'm smelling
It
something.
smells very sweet on the nose now.
Oh my goodness, it does. Penelope, man, can't go wrong with any of the Penelopes. There's
So
like five
smooth.
of them.
Yeah, it's so smooth. It's what 100 and
104 proof.
anyway.
All right, go ahead and continue, Paul. I didn't
We'll
want
talk about Penelope. In a
I
bit.
didn't want you to jump in knee deep into
I wasn't
this while the
going
music was
to.
going
I was
on.
just going to introduce that we are going to pay a short little tribute to a lovely lady who was an icon in the country music industry
for years.
for decades.
Yeah,
For
really.
decades. So Loretta Lynn
So when was her?
has passed away. She's 90 years old.
She got her start in the early 60s. That's how long she's been around.
Yeah.
In a coal mine.
Well, the reason I know Loretta Lynn, and I was telling
Oh, you know her.
I know
Okay,
her
go on.
personally.
Like nowhere.
well, the story of Loretta Lynn, put it that way, is when I was, I don't know what year the movie came out, but there was a movie called The Coal Miner's Daughter.
With Sissy Spacek.
1980, 81 maybe, 82, and I saw it was 10, 11, 12. It's not my kind of movie when you're that age.
And you got dragged to
And I
it,
got
didn't
my
you?
parents drug me to it probably because they know who Loretta Lynn was and country music. They probably thought it was going to be some good country music, but they knew who she was, right? So it was probably
Oh,
a
they
good
probably
movie
had
for
all
them.
the albums.
It was probably a good movie for them. But as a
Right.
10 to 12-year-old, it was terrible.
Yeah, she didn't have a good childhood, right?
No, it was terrible. It was a terrible childhood. Terrible early. Her husband was an asshole for a while. He may have been his whole life. But, she had like
So
four.
it's not an uplifting movie in the beginning, at
Not in the
least.
beginning, but then she had 4 kids before she started singing.
Wow.
Wow.
So
Really?
she had a bunch of kids before she even started singing.
Which is like impossible back then.
Yeah. So
Well, I mean,
Think about it. There,
I want to say something, but I'm not going to. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, back in that society,
All right, yeah. So let's paint a picture.
Your job as a woman was
Let's
to
paint a
raise
picture.
kids,
You've
right?
got 4 kids, and let's say she wham bammed and knocked them out like in 6 years.
Yeah.
Four kids in 6 years. She's probably beautiful, which she is.
Yeah.
Is whatever. And she's got that. She's probably went through a bad divorce, or was she married at the time?
she's married. I think
Well,
she's stuck
was-
with the guy.
She stuck with the guy.
I think so.
Well, she's probably a strong woman, was able to handle it. I mean, someone had to take care of the kids while those kids were. I mean, did
So
she?
he was abusive, you said?
For when it's been a long time since I saw the movie, and I don't keep on
So
Loretta
this
Lynn,
was
but I
like-
believe so.
This
Yeah.
was like Tina Turner and Ike.
I just think it was a tough. She grew up in the Appalachians in Kentucky,
Right.
coal mine, and that was a hard life.
Yeah, big time.
Still
Not a
is.
lot of money. No money.
No,
really.
it still is. I mean,
Yeah.
that life still exists today.
Oh, it does.
And they just have a cell phone instead of
Right.
whatever they're doing. It's a hard life, and I grew up close to that, not in Appalachia, but I was very familiar with that. My mom was a Kentucky hillbilly, and I went to school on the edge. Where I went to school was actually in Appalachia. It was in the mountains,
Really?
and I took a sociology class. It was sociology of Appalachia, and I learned about a lot of the culture, right? And it's very closed. People rarely escape that life.
It's hard to break out of it.
It's
Yeah.
hard to break out because it's all you know, right? It's
Right.
Victims of victims, so to speak, if you want to call them victims.
And they're
Well, no, it's more than that. It's like life outside of that is so foreign.
correct,
It's so different that it's unappealing.
right? Yeah,
It's not safe. It's not
right.
comforting.
Right.
It's
and
yeah.
there's small towns,
You know,
small coal towns.
when you say Loretta Lynn, I know who she is. I know she was a country singer. but none of her songs jump out at me.
Because they were back in the 60s and 70s for the most part.
Well, I think we would recognize some of them. So, I mean, our producer has a medley.
Well, I'm looking at the list and I don't see any.
Well,
I
he has
recognize.
a medley queued up. We're not going to do the full 9 minutes, of course. But
No, I want to do every second.
no, but I think so. Let's play just a couple minutes and let's see if we recognize any of her.
All right. So she was 90 years old and she passed away in her sleep.
You say I ought to know that he don't love me anymore, and I'll have to let him go.
And she had the cliche outfits from the country clothing back then. You know, the little tassels that hang off. You ain't woman enough to take my man.
Bad ass though.
Yeah, I remember that song.
She was she was huge, absolutely huge.
Well, it's kind of weird to think, you know, was she big back then as who are that Carrie Underwood is today?
Say that one more
I would.
time.
Well, not as far as money goes, but I mean,
Popularity in the country music
Absolutely.
industry. Carrie Underwood, or who's the other?
Oh, she would be like Reba McEntire. That kind of popularity.
Correct.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Today.
Because actually, Reba McEntire is like the aging icon of
Today.
today.
That's why I said Carrie Underwood of today.
And she had microphone etiquette too.
Well, she kind of pulls it away.
Ah, she's Johnny on the spot, man, because you didn't have fantastic compression back then. You know, that was a corded mic. You know, I hate it to a lot of these corded mics. They sure did produce a lot better sound.
Oh, they've got some backup singers that are looking pretty.
Got the cummerbund on.
Yeah.
It was,
I thought this was a medley. Like usually a medley is like every
Well, I think
15 seconds it like goes to a new song.
well, it's a minute and 36 seconds in. So
Well, I want to hear a coal miner's daughter. That's the one you'll probably recognize.
Yeah, but yeah,
just pop it
let's
forward.
just advance it a
20,
little
30
bit, see what
seconds.
happens.
Coal miner's daughter.
There we go. That'll work.
Oh, got lyrics too. We can
Yeah,
sing
we
along.
can sing along. Do you really want to?
She's kind of jugacious, wasn't she?
What, really?
What?
I think this was her biggest hit.
Actually, she was not jugacious. Look at that.
When I was born to coal miner's daughter, in a cabin
I tell you what,
on a hill
the country music back then is so different than it is today.
Okay, this is obviously earlier because she's much younger than the last video we just saw, right?
Yeah, that last video was probably a celebration of her hits from the last. The last one was from 1985. So
She's pretty young in this picture here. What year is this?
probably 1972. We'll never know.
We'll never know.
She's wearing a nice green dress, a little bedazzled on the V neckline,
Yeah.
and
Click on show more.
is that going to reveal more on her
Show
dress?
more. Oh, yeah, I was going to say, right?
All right. Well, now she's not wearing a dress. I don't know how Jeff did that.
It's
wow,
the
all you
secret.
have to do is show more, and on
And I
any
didn't-
YouTube
I
video
didn't
you
know they
watch,
had-
They get
and
nude.
suddenly they're just
I
naked.
didn't know they had thongs back then.
Well, I tell you what, I'd watch a lot of Britney Spears videos if I had the show more
Well, she's
option.
she's basically nude anyway. in
Well, still, I mean,
Um,
the show more button.
but
very
anyway,
powerful.
Britney Spears is attractive, but she's a nut, man.
She is kind of cuckoo.
She's a nut, dude. You should. I've mentioned this before, but
All right. Well, I think our tribute can be wound down. But anyway, she was a lovely lady, and she was an icon. And rest in peace.
yeah. Let's see if we can't pull up one more. Well, hold on.
Really?
What is her number one hit? Well, you ain't
I
woman
gave
enough.
Sean an out. I literally gave him an
I
out.
know. He's like,
And look at him, he's back in.
we want to go deep
Because
dive.
he wants to push the show more button.
I went
No,
for
no,
him
no.
to say Loretta Lynn nude.
Dude, they're not gonna
Yeah,
have
yeah,
Loretta
put in
Lynn nude
Loretta
on there.
Lynn
We
nude.
already tried with Dolly Parton, and that doesn't work. We did.
Oh, you overused
So-
that button?
Well, she has a 2018 song, "Ain't No Time to Go."
Well, they have some songs together with Conway
Conway
Twitty.
Twitty.
Conway Twitty.
Yeah.
He was big too back in the day.
He was big.
He was kind of short, actually.
I want to get my hair like that. I think Sean, you could probably do that.
Oh, you
They had
totally
Conway
can.
Twitty. Actually, they had a
Oh,
10.
yeah,
they had a
look,
greatest
you look
hits.
amazing.
The 10 greatest hits.
After
All
the
right,
After the
fire,
Fire's
is
Gone,
gone.
71.
All right, here we go. 71. Will that play if you? Here we go.
Oh, this will be interesting.
And don't push the show more button.
Look at that hair. Good lord.
God, man, he's got a lot of hair. He's got a Count Chocula kind of look on him, doesn't he?
Is that a widow's peak? Is that they call it?
I don't know. That is.
That's why I think
It's a
Sean
little
could
bit
do
more
that.
than that.
That is tremendous.
Is that Conway Twitty?
Yes.
Twitter or Twitty?
Wow, homeboy has got a.
Oh, hold on.
Freaking-
Let's listen to her voice. She's got a pretty voice.
That's Conway.
So, what do you think his hair looks like straight out of the shower?
He probably looks like Cousin Ed.
He probably looks terrifying. Like somebody you would run from in an alley.
He's got those sideburns with the Go Fast gray stripes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's when the sideburns came out, like farther out in the front. See
Oh,
that?
dude, he's.
They're pointy.
Yeah. All right. Now, thank you, Paul, for allowing this opportunity.
Yeah,
and
great.
Now
Thank
I'm
you
officially ready to
Yeah.
capsize this boat. So, have we had some other deaths? I thought we had
Well, there's been a lot of deaths. There's like 7 every second. What is it? Is it? Remember, it used to be 3 births every second and 7 deaths every second. You remember that, Jeff?
No, I thought it was there's 3 illegal immigrants coming over for every 4 births in the U.S.
Okay, well
That's what it is.
yeah, that's every nanosecond.
Yes. That's every day or something like that. For every 4 births, there's 3 illegal immigrants that come over.
Oh God!
Isn't that crazy?
I'm sure it's accurate too,
Well,
but
yeah, that's a new stat that they came out.
you're being serious?
No,
100%.
Coolio just died.
Oh yeah, the rapper.
Yeah,
that's
the
right.
rapper. That's what I was trying to remember. I knew there was
And he
someone.
wasn't that old, was he?
He was 50.
He was born in
Okay, that's
'63,
crazy.
so
50.
Oh, and cancer. Died of cancer, I believe.
I don't know. I don't know if they said.
I mean, most rappers get shot by other
he was
rappers.
he was 59. He was almost 60.
He had that good song. I only know the one song.
Gangsta's
At least I think.
Paradise.
Fantastic Voyage. Come along and ride on us.
No, he had
No, it was
Gangsta's
Gangsta's
Paradise.
Paradise.
Oh yeah, that was. Yeah, you're right. Gangsta's Paradise. Yeah, that's
a
even better
great
song.
Yeah, let's hear that one real quick. Yeah, I think. I think
In
that's
fact,
the
I
only
don't
one.
even think
And
he
do the
sang the other
lyrics
one.
too.
Yeah, I think that's the only one that I
That's
remember.
such a good song.
Yeah, Michelle Pfeiffer's in it. That's right.
What do you mean?
forgot about that.
She's in what?
The video for Gangster's Paradise.
In the video?
Yes.
That's bizarre.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that was the school that she was a teacher in.
Well, this was a.
Is this based on a movie?
The song was in a movie.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's why then.
Well, yeah, it was when Michelle Pfeiffer was a substitute teacher. She was an ex-marine,
There she is.
and she was working in the hood.
Such a great song.
And she comes in.
Oh my goodness.
This is all about.
You want to tell me what this is all about, bitch?
The shadow of death. This is such a good song. Even my mama thinks that my mind is gone. I didn't deserve it. You know that's unheard of.
Yeah,
I
you
think-
know,
I
And your
think-
homies might be lying in chalk.
Whoa. That's only the quality end you booked.
Yeah.
yeah, you know,
Pistol smoke, fool.
it's a great song, but it's just, you know what? It's this mentality that really I don't appeal. I don't subscribe to it.
This is one of my favorites. Actually, it's got to be. It's one of the rare ones that I actually know most of the lyrics to.
Well, this is when I enjoyed rap. I don't like the mumble rap that's
I
out
hate
today.
it nowadays.
It's doesn't make
All
sense.
they do
to
is say the F word, the N word over and over and over
me.
again.
And they mumble it.
Yep.
I
Can't
like Dr.
stand it.
Dre. Dr. Dre was
Well,
good.
no, Dr.
Even before
Dre is-
Snoop Dogg.
Well, Dr. Dre is even before this with NWA, Ice
That
Cube. and all
Chronic
that.
album.
I like NWA. I like Ice Cube. I used to jam that shit. in the,
Ice-T.
Money on my mind.
Yeah, Ice T's another one.
Gleam in my
Kool-Aid
eye.
and Lemonade.
Look at that. I think the next karaoke we're doing this one.
So don't arouse my anger, fool.
Oh, here we go.
Goodness.
Easy.
You tell you another one, a death that's probably not too much outside of the Dallas area. Did you hear about the tight end that died?
Oh yeah,
Gavin Escobar.
well, yeah, he fell off a cliff.
Him and his climbing partner. 2 of them fell to their death.
You know what? That's not all that uncommon. I know it's stupid.
Yeah.
I personally think it's stupid. I'm sorry.
I
I
guess-
know there's a lot of man versus nature challenge and, super healthy fitness and strong and strength.
Which
and,
these adrenaline seekers.
Right. But, I mean, come on.
It's like
Yeah,
these.
he was
There's
30,
absolutely
31 years old.
Yeah, there's
31.
there's no excuse for putting yourself in a situation where you fall off a cliff and die. I'm sorry.
I wonder if he had ropes and they were just not attached correctly, or
Right.
is he just
Oh no, they're probably free climbing.
free climbing?
Yeah,
Wow.
just like Tom Cruise, he does it a lot.
Esquire was married. He had 2 children. He worked as a firefighter
How old are his
for the
children?
Long Beach Fire Department
He's
in
32.
California.
He was 32.
He's 31.
How old is his kids? I bet you they're like 9 and 7.
He died around noon this past weekend.
Unbelievable. I don't mean to be callous or judge him, but man, you got 2 little kids, really?
Yeah, he was climbing with a friend as well.
Both of them died.
Yeah, they both died.
Yeah.
They don't really dive in too much, no pun intended, to the cause of the fall.
They just found 2 bodies.
At the base of the cliff.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm sure someone stumbled upon them and went, holy shit, gold.
Yeah.
Probably a mess, I would think.
I would imagine.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's sad.
Yeah, so anyway, I remember watching him play. He didn't play for very long, but
No,
still.
he didn't. But he was like a fan favorite, apparently.
He played 4 years.
That's
Yeah,
about average.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about average. But it's still, when you hear something like that, you're like, oh shit, he's had his whole life in front of him.
100%.
Yeah.
Yep. Poor decision.
Those who knew the 2 hunting and beach rock climbers who died Wednesday. It was Wednesday, not the weekend, but near Idlewild said they brought out the best in those.
Idlewild?
What is it called?
I don't know.
Idlewild?
But
Idlewild. Brought out the best from what?
Brought out the best in those that were around them.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure they were, go after zest for life, do adrenaline things and take life by the horns and,
Yeah, I'm kind of.
Well, it's the
perusing
adrenaline
those.
seekers. It's the guys who base jump. It's guys who climb or cliff jump, and the guys who wear the flying squirrel suits.
Well, I tell you what, those
And go
dudes that
zooming
fly
through the trees.
Oh
Yeah.
my God! Not just the trees,
that is
but
insane.
it is freakish how fast those things go. First of all,
They're
and then
fast.
and
How do
how they skim the 5 feet off the ground, and then it's like, how do you not fall into the fucking ground?
And I was going to say, how do they eventually stop? I know that's a stupid
The-
question, but
the
I mean,
parachute.
there's a parachute that
Yeah.
opens?
I think they do wear a parachute.
Yeah, so what they do is they're up on a mountaintop, and they usually go down a huge ravine. It opens into a plateau where they can skim through, but they know there's another drop down on the other side.
Right.
So they could probably do a couple 100 yards of
And they're going like
squirrel
100.
flying.
They're going hundreds of miles an hour.
It
Well,
looks like it.
It sure
yeah.
does on the video. I mean, and there's like you said, skimming trees going in between
dude,
trees.
in between rock pillars.
Yeah, I mean, that's,
they're going so fast. I mean, you fuck that up, and it's just like, God, there is no.
well, and
You're a bug on a window.
they do that.
Yeah.
last
There's
thing to
been
go through their
many-
mind is their ass.
Many deaths.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Well, it's just like these. I would never do this. Swim with the sharks. I have no desire to do that either.
Well, if you're in a cage.
Well, I've seen footage where those cages, they get inside the cage.
Really? They open up the cage and eat you?
Yes.
You
They're
see
like-
videos of that?
Yeah, they use your hands and they undo the latch.
Oh.
No,
Oh.
there was a
Like Jimmy the
a
shark?
video of a shark that jumped over the cage. Well, not over, but on top of the cage, got into that little square portal and got stuck in the cage and
Yeah.
mauled a person to death.
Yeah.
I also saw.
No, thank you.
I also saw one
Pass.
where he was in a plastic clear, like a hard plastic acrylic, and the shark broke through it and came up like that.
Yeah.
So it looks like you're out there. There's no cage around you, right? So you're in this glass
Clear.
cube.
It looks clear.
Right. So you're in the middle of it, really, but there's really this glass. Well, the
It's
shark.
so exciting.
Well, the shark broke it.
And ate him.
Oh, he escaped. But could you imagine? There's footage of him. He was like, "Holy shit!"
He's like trying to
the
swim
shark's
away.
flipping around trying to get out. The great white shark. like, screw
No,
that.
thank you.
No thanks.
I'm sorry. Yeah, no. I'm
Yeah,
out.
there are certain things I just that bucket list. There's no room for that in the bucket list.
So you guys would never do a tandem skydive jump? I would do that.
I would do a skydive jump, tandem or by myself. If I
would
had
do-
enough hours, I would absolutely
I
do
mean,
it.
to me, that's pretty safe.
And also,
You
I
know?
would want
The tandem.
to get
Tandem.
in one
Or
of those
even by yourself
gliders.
if you take the course. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, you know those gliders that you get in where someone else is piloting, no motor or anything like that.
Oh yeah.
They freaking take you up and it's best like 20 minutes. We're just like, oh my god, free falling, and
Yeah.
it's just like you can feel the weightlessness, and you know that feeling you get where the plane leaves the ground and the
Where your
gravity
balls-
takes over, where the wind, the uplift happens all at once, and your balls get that weird sensation like, whoa, there's something weird. That's what happens nonstop in the
It's
glider.
like an orgasm.
Oh. Okay.
That's what happens to Paul every
it's not
time.
an
So
orgasm.
that's what
it's
you were trying to
orgasmic.
avoid.
Every
saying.
time Sean takes a plane, he spuges everywhere.
Oh, that's great.
That's what the vomit bags are for me.
He sticks a
Okay.
dick in there.
Yeah.
Maybe we should end early tonight.
I just throw my junk in them. What do they call those
Okay.
bags? Barf bags. There you go.
It's like a horse ejaculate thing. You ever seen
Oh,
those?
Jesus.
Okay.
So,
how
yeah.
come that's never going to be like put on a little clip and sent to us?
Oh.
What are you talking
It's
about?
like horse ejaculate. Now mine will.
Yeah. Well,
See how that works? Damn it, that's what he does. He gets me to say it.
Yeah.
He gets me to say it so he can send it out. What a dick.
Well, there's a lot of things on a bucket list. I mean, what is a normal bucket list? What a cliche bucket list? You know, a lot of it's to travel. You know, I would, with my traveling, of course, for guys, dudes like us, with what we want to do, we want to hit some of the bourbon trails. That's on bucket list, of course. But my bucket list for even deeper than that is to explore some of the ancient worlds.
I was going to say, I knew he was going to say that. You want to go to like the jungles of Colombia looking for that lost Aztec
doesn't matter.
city.
The Taj Mahal, the
Some-
basement of Taj
where
Mahal.
the aliens
Some-
had
look,
designed it.
Crystal skulls.
Crystal
would-
skulls, and you have the
I
last
would
one.
love it. You know what?
And
I
get
would
the last
absolutely
one
love
together
it.
with the other ones, and the whole thing starts spinning.
And not only, but I want like the super deluxe tour. I would pay extra for the extended version, like to go down several levels where you're not supposed to go.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's the illegal part.
Well, I'm just saying, you know, if it's a bucket list,
Now you're in the Colombian prison.
Yeah.
well, I mean, I don't want to get in trouble, but at the same time, you know, I think that you could buy your way out of some of those Colombian prisons. I guess I don't know, but you know, I'm just thinking I would love
Pablo
to go see
Escobar
some of
did.
those ancient
He bought his
civilizations
own
where.
prison.
You know, it's amazing when they start digging some of that stuff up, and you know they find some sort of
Would you start digging?
no, but I'm
Have a
just
little
saying
spade?
when you're in the
digging.
middle of a forest
Yes,
and they
forest.
start clearing away the dirt, and they find this mosaic tile that is like this impeccable, beautiful
and it's like
design.
a million years old.
And
How can it be a
how-
million
You need
years
to read
old?
those damn books I
That's
gave you.
before hominids.
It doesn't matter.
That shit
I
is in
understand
there.
what
You
you're
just-
saying.
But no,
You really-
you enjoy that shit. Those
I
books,
do,
it's in there.
but
You
I,
really-
that's not what I'm talking about.
That happens.
I want to go see it. I want to go there.
Well,
I
you
want to
gotta read it
participate
first.
in it.
You want to experience it firsthand.
I don't want to enjoy it vicariously through reading.
Well, then why don't you go to the Pompeii thing where they have all the plastered people?
I don't feel like I want to go see something where like some giant ejaculated on a bunch of people and they're all stuck in.
Ejaculate.
I'm sorry, where the volcano kind of
smegma.
just. You know, to me that doesn't. That's like a disaster. That's like. you know,
That's not an alien thing.
Look, I don't want to bring aliens into it. It's
You do
it's,
every time. Literally every time.
I didn't do it. You did it. I
No,
was just
no,
talking
no,
about
no.
ancient civilizations and how
The
I'm
crystal
just.
skulls.
Well, you know what? They are part of that realm. I wasn't bringing those up either, but
my
I would
God.
like to go, not necessarily to Egypt either. I mean, I would love to go to Egypt and see that stuff, but I want to go somewhere extremely
Like Prosper.
unique.
Prosper.
Go to
and-
Greece. Greece.
Salina.
Go to Greece.
That's where the
Greece is too commercialized.
The
I mean,
Acropolis.
there's
All
a-
that shit's getting commercialized. That's the
yeah, well,
problem.
that's what I'm saying.
But
I'd like
hold
to go
on.
somewhere that's kind of off the beaten trail. That's
hard to find these days. Which
Well,
is,
that's my
which
point.
is
We got to
upsetting.
do a little research, and I just want to find one.
I can give you a good one. Antarctica.
Yeah.
Well, I'd be on board with that, but you've got people that are millionaires that are taking tours down there, and they're not even given the real scope of what's going on in Antarctica. I want to go under that
How
ice.
do you know that? Why would you be in a position to say a comment like that?
Well, when
that
Obama
millionaires go
when-
to Antarctica and
All right,
don't
well,
get the real tour.
Okay, so Obama went down there, and I think we shared this on a past podcast. And Obama went down there, and they said that first of all, they said they found something. They found some
Penguins?
church or
Okay.
something like that.
This is on Discovery Channel?
This was on the news.
No.
Yes, it was.
On CNN.
Yeah, probably so.
Yeah.
All the major ones.
Antarctica Church?
There was something that Obama, during the Obama administration, they found something in Antarctica, and they had invited all of the world's religious leaders down there to meet.
And Obama's one of the world's religious leaders.
Well, you know what? Evidently, he's
The Church
Did he
of
find it?
Obama.
But I'm just saying. Hold on, pull it up because I'm almost certain of it.
Here we go.
What is that?
8 spooky and strange things
Well,
found in Antarctica.
you gotta type in Obama and priest in Antarctica.
Oh, my
Yeah. Okay.
goodness.
You know what, man? I don't even know if it's look. It's real. Okay. I heard it. I saw the. Let me
Is
see
it on
here.
TikTok?
It's on TikTok.
They didn't have TikTok back then.
Did they have MySpace? You probably saw it on MySpace.
MySpace.
You saw it on Obama's MySpace.
All right, so
MySpace was huge back in the day.
It was the pre. It was
so Barack Obama.
it was the pre Facebook.
Correct.
How come that one never?
I think it's still out there
Well, I know, but why did it? How did Facebook become?
because MySpace was more for musicians, I think.
No, they
and
were
it was
stupid.
limited
They
in-
didn't see the big picture.
Yeah, I think it was limited, and Facebook was more about connecting friends
Well, about
instead of
social
promoting
connection.
your music.
Secret trip.
Well, it's not very secret if it's on Google.
well, it's right there.
Well, you know what?
And you can also click on Show More.
I don't I don't know what is then to Antarctica. So look, first of all, fuck off.
I was waiting
right.
for that.
Because
You've been backpedaling for the last 10 minutes.
I am not going to back down from this. It was on the goddamn news. Everyone can take turns kissing my ass. Do you know how the fucking world works? You know how they delete all that shit. I'm not saying it's a conspiracy or anything, but I'm just saying
But
they
it
found
is.
something down there, and they invited all the. Look for YouTube, bro.
Well, it's on conspiracyrevelation.com.
Look on YouTube.
Oh, well, then it's got to be real.
Oh.
All right, and it's not a conspiracy.
Oh, this is recent? He's got gray hair. So I guess this is somewhat recent. So this has something to do
What
with
was
his...
the reason behind Obama's secret trip?
Oh my
Just Dan
God.
Rather?
Oh my god.
Wow,
That sounds
The
very
reason
cliche.
For CIA
So-
Director James Clapper.
very suspenseful.
So I'm going to talk. So assignment attainments to Obama's visit to the South Pole. His director of CIA, James Clapper, made a secret trip to Australia, another country with heavy interest in Antarctica. Krull offered a strange blessing of Antarctica, calling the barren land an ideal for humankind because there were no weapons down there for any type of such science experiments, except we know that it's not true at all. There are multiple scientific expeditions that have gone to Antarctica. That was confirmed in an interview with Richard Byrd. And that doesn't say anything about what I'm talking about. So, you know what? I'm just going to backpedal on this because I'm
Well,
not.
Nicolas Cage went down there in National Treasure, didn't
Oh
he?
my
think so.
god!
One of those books that I will give you takes place in Antarctica
This
as
is
well.
not.
Was that the North Pole?
This
that,
is
that
not
North
one of those
National
books.
Treasure did?
It could
This
be.
happened.
No, it did not happen.
Well, the books I gave you are
did
half baked
happen.
and real.
It did happen.
Oh my God! Your obsession with ancient
It has
civilizations
nothing to do with
is
aliens.
insane.
Well, Antarctica used to be green.
Yes, it did. It was part of Pangaea.
Yeah.
So
It used to be on a travel route. So I mean, how can you say something didn't exist? Do we know?
What travel route?
How for all the trails for trade? I mean, it was on.
No, never. Not doing hominid.
Okay, so if it's on a
Hominoid.
map,
What's
if it's on a map and
Homo
they're showing
sapien?
boats going to it,
no hominid?
if it's on a map and they're showing boats going to it, how can humans not have gone to it?
Well, they did, but very rarely. There's nothing to trade there. Nothing to trade there, bro.
there's penguins.
Penguins. A penguin was a delicacy.
Well,
I
I
ate a
guess
lot of 'em.
I am
Yeah.
not the authority on this, but I do enjoy it. So it's this type of stuff that
I find this stuff
is on
interesting
my
as well.
bucket list.
It is interesting.
I'd like to go down there. Of course, it'd have to be in the right time of year because it gets quite nasty.
Well, let's just say this, right? There's very few places in the world, actually, probably not as many, not as few as we think, but there's a very few places in the world that are completely and totally unexplored, right?
Well, you got some of the jungles.
Right. There's some jungles. There's some deep ocean stuff, right?
Well, basically the ocean itself.
The ocean itself, man, it's massively unexplored,
Yeah.
right? And then you got Antarctica, right? That's relatively unexplored. No, very, very much unexplored.
Right.
I mean, and then there's parts of Dallas that are
Could be.
that are
I bet there's parts of Canada that is so barren that it's not really explored. But that's more just like flat tundra
flat tundra and glaciers.
and glaciers.
Did I tell you that story about my brother who he has a side gig. He's a mechanical engineer. He's got a side gig where he assesses the value of very large equipment to find out if they need to scrap it or neither they need to.
That's a strange gig.
It is. It's so he got that because he used to work at a copper mining company, and those gigantic earth movers with like the tires that are like literally like 15 feet high.
Right.
Right. Well, so his job as a mechanical engineer at that thing, one of them was to assess the health of those vehicles and make a determination on whether they scrap it or fix it or sell it or whatever. Right. Well, that became a little niche side job for him. And so he goes to these strange places throughout the world every once in a while, and he does exactly that. He assesses the equipment. One time they fly him up to the northern parts of Canada,
Right.
and he literally lands like hop, lands on a glacier, and then they put like the silver, like the silver jacket or silver bodysuit
Right.
on him because it's like freaking 40 below.
Right.
I mean, crazy. I mean, that's literally how it is up there in like crazy ass
But
northern.
people do live up there.
I know. And it's like Alaska. We've talked about Alaska being
Yeah.
like, it never gets during what is it? During the winter the sun never goes down.
Well, there's periods of time where the sun is down 24/7, so it's dark
it's dark. Like
for
and when
3
is
months
that?
out of there are seasons, right? So there's certain latitude, or is it longitude, whatever, far north, where the sun never sets, and there's
Right.
periods of time where the sun never rises.
God, that is.
I don't know. I don't know where that line is.
I don't know how he did it, but he zoomed in on a portion of Alaska, and it's just absolutely stunning, gorgeous, amazing. Wow, I don't know how you're doing this, but anyway, so yeah, so
Do they know we're watching them? Is this live?
Yeah, we're watching live people in Alaska. Apparently we got into like spy satellite. Did you hack a spy satellite?
But I was reading the last book I was reading. They were in the Norway, Finland region,
yeah.
and they were on an island that was far north, and they were talking about that, where they get like 3 months of just darkness.
I mean that'll mess you up, like in terms of
Yeah.
or even sunlight all day long.
Yeah.
Like basically, the sun moves from one
It just
horizon.
it goes like this.
Yeah, one horizon goes a little higher on the horizon, and then ends up on the other horizon, and then does it all over again.
Yep.
And it's never dark.
No. For
So-
months.
Yeah. No, I'm not sure I could. That'd be fun to do that for like a little while,
Well,
like
I know.
a vacation.
Well, I know when I visited the farthest north. Well, I've been into Canada, but I didn't notice this when I went up there. But we visited Minot, North Dakota. My sister was up there.
Okay.
and that's pretty far north as far
Oh,
as
yeah.
as far as almost being in Canada. And I remember the boys were outside playing at 10 o'clock at night,
and
and it was
still
light.
Yeah, I had the same experience in Germany.
Yeah, and I was just like, because I was looking at my wife. I was like, kids, it's a couple hours past their bedtime,
Right.
but they're outside and it was daylight. And
Yep.
it just throws you off, and they were having fun. It was vacation, but it was strange because it was 10 o'clock and still light out.
Absolutely. We had the exact same experience. We were out there playing soccer. Finally, my mom came out and said, "You guys need to go to bed."
Right.
And we're like, "What are you talking about?"
Because I want to go to bed.
Right? And so, yeah, we literally all sat there at the window. We were like, at the window inside the house watching the sun go down, and it was like 10:45.
Yeah.
It was the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
So, anyway, it's really cool. The Earth is a fascinating place with tons of ancient alien civilizations.
Oh, good Lord.
Oh, sorry. Are we back on that?
Now, bitch,
Brother, please.
we're talking about bucket list stuff, and that's just stuff that I enjoy.
Okay,
you know,
yeah, let's do bucket list.
And it's just like it's just like not necessarily Easter Island, but kind of stuff like that.
I actually think your best bet is South America. I think that would be the most interesting.
I would like Europe.
Interesting. No, I'm talking about like his conspiracy.
No, it's not a
hidden
conspiracy.
jungle
And
like stuff.
Well, that's where Hitler went.
I'm
he,
thinking
he died.
Where I would
himself.
like to go is I would like to go to the Scandinavia area.
Interesting. What do you think you're going to find
The
up there?
Vikings,
That's
the
It's
Norse.
not a matter of finding; it's a matter of exploring. I want to go. There's an opportunity. I have a friend, and he's got some property that's out there, and I'm welcome to go to stay there.
You said Scandinavia. Is that Finland, Norway, or
Sweden.
Sweden?
Or Denmark,
That's not
No.
part of Scandinavia.
Netherlands.
Excuse me.
That's not part of
What
Scandinavia.
about Holland?
Actually, I'll
That's
tell
the
you
same as the
exactly.
Or the
Netherlands.
Dutch?
That's the same
The
as the
Danes.
Netherlands. Same as the Netherlands.
Good Lord.
We had this discussion how many times?
Guys.
Very many times.
It's so confusing.
It is super confusing. Actually, it's not. You just don't seem to get it.
No, you don't know.
You don't get it.
No, I understand it. You don't.
Oh, do you?
Oh Jesus, you
do
guys.
you? We're about to go to blows here.
All right. So, anyways, it's the whole area out there. It's just first of all, it's beautiful.
Yes.
It's clean.
So hold on. So your
And-
bucket list item is to visit Sweden.
Well, I didn't say Sweden, just the kind of the Scandinavian area where they have a
Denmark?
lot
Okay,
of.
well, it's a gigantic area. You got to pick a
like,
spot.
No, well, I don't. It's just kind of
Kattegat?
What are you going to take 8 months and just go? You're going to take 8 months of your bucket list and just wander around? How are you
No.
doing this? How are you?
This is Google Earth.
Oh, okay. And you're zooming into it. Dude, this is so badass how Google Earth, you can go anywhere on the planet, basically.
Go to Kattegat.
Golly.
Kattegat.
That's beautiful.
Do you guys ever watch the Vikings?
We started to watch it.
I
There
recommend
just
it.
wasn't enough nudity.
No, there's no nudity.
Yeah. That's what I just
Kattegat is, I don't know if it's Norway or wherever the Vikings
Oh,
are
wow.
from.
You're spinning the earth around. This is crazy.
So look for Kattegat. I'm curious if it's, for one thing, still there.
Look at the Norwegian Sea. The distance between Scandinavia and the North Pole, there's a lot of water. I thought it kind of just went right into the North Pole.
It's Katte, I think.
There's a lot of stuff I don't know about the Earth.
Kattegat.
But you know what? Geography is
There it is right
it's
there.
sad how little people know about the Earth.
most people.
I know
Yeah.
most people, especially in the United States, we're very U.S. centric. When I grew up in a number of different countries, so I had a little bit of exposure into like more stuff out there. But
So I'm like, I
Nice.
grew up. I should say, I lived partially in Germany.
yeah, you
And-
were
and I'll
you were
give
an
you-
army brat. I
I'll-
was an oil brat.
I'll give you an example of some of the stuff that I saw that got me hooked. So it's like walking into these cities that were built in the 1300s.
I know, crazy. The
And
history
this-
there is crazy.
It's just yeah, sure they have contemporary roads. They've got everything is mostly contemporary, but you see that path, you see that road, you see the path up the hill, you see that door that was built in probably 1500s,
You're right.
and
right.
it's just to me that's the stuff that I love, and
Yeah.
you can go even deeper. I mean, you go on some of these.
Endless history.
There's-
Endless.
In even earlier, 600s, and that's why I'd like to go up to the Scandinavia area because that's where a lot of history that most people don't go.
Yeah.
That's because that's what I'm talking about. I want to go to some
I got
ruins
you.
or something up
Well,
there.
the
Some
Vikings-
remote history.
Well,
yeah,
the
there's-
Vikings explored a lot.
Oh, yeah.
That I didn't learn about in school, but after the fact, they went all over the place.
They went farther than the initial historians thought was possible.
Right.
They went around the world. You know, it's amazing.
I don't know about
Well,
the world.
Well, they have evidence that somebody traveled all around the world, whether it be the dudes with the cup, what is the Solomon's
2 girls.
yeah, I thought it was that girl that
Oh my God!
that's
What is
that woke.
what is that island where they have
climate
the money pit? It's not the
change
money
girl.
pit. What is this? Something pit, and they gotta keep digging and digging, and it keeps flooding up.
What?
Oh God, it's so frustrating. I hate my fucking brain.
I thought your brain supplement. Who's
I'm
who's
just
the
tired.
girl that the climate change girl?
Greta Thunberg?
Yeah, she's the one that went around the world. Didn't she in a boat or something?
No, I don't. Fuck, I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know.
She went down to a conference and she wasn't going to fly. She went on a boat, and by the time she got there, they had canceled the conference, but she didn't know.
I think she's kind of turned into a joke. At least
She was always a joke.
but people.
She even like addressed the UN, did she not?
Yes, she did.
Oh my
Well, that's
God.
where the "how dare you" came from,
How
wasn't it?
dare you? How dare you jeopardize my future? And you know what's going to happen in 15 years when the Earth is still the same and nothing's different from a climate perspective? She's going to be like, "Yeah, I kind of feel stupid."
Yeah.
So I
young.
was referring to the Knights of Templar.
Oh,
And-
yeah, I
Knights-
love that kind
and-
of
Knights
how-
Templar
and how
interest
they were
me.
they
yeah,
were kind
that's
of
like a Middle Ages
but
thing.
they were still kind of tied into the Vikings because they traveled a lot, and
They did.
they traveled
Watch the
all over.
Vikings. Watch
They-
the Vikings.
They they find stones all over the United States. Yeah, Paul, that was cool.
I'm badass, dude.
They find stones all over the United States. You know, like the tree falls down, and all of a sudden, whoop, the stone pops up, and on the other side of it, of that stone, they find these markings of the Templar, and that the Templars were there. Hey, Dave was here, signed Templar. You know, but it's
Is that
like
what they did? They spray painted.
so. I mean, the Oak Island was the one I was referring to with that pit I was talking about.
Oh, there's a TV show about that.
There was, and that these guys, these brothers that invested all this freaking money, and
Did they ever find anything?
they never did, but there's still the mystery of everything that was there. You know, there was traps that were set up. There was potentially something there, and they did find a gold necklace, but the biggest find that they had was they found a tablet. And there's a record of the tablet they found, and it was all this old Templar writing. But it was just like they had to dig down. There was a row of logs, all faced the same way, so it wasn't like just organically made. Someone built it, and then 10 feet below that, there was another row of logs, and then below that, is that the Oak Island tablet? Yeah. So they gave the tablet to somebody, and guess what? It's missing. They can't find it.
Figures.
But it's that type of stuff. I mean, I'm not saying I want to go and do it because these guys spent a shitload of money to dig out that stupid well, and but it's that type of stuff that amazes me.
It is kind of fun, kind of amazing. And you know what's amazing to me? They still haven't found Amelia Earhart's plane.
How is that? I mean, how does that surprise you? There's a huge ocean out there.
I know, but they have they pieced together like all these things about where she could have been and what island because she did land on an island.
How do we know that?
Well, how do we know that?
Well, I think no, because people picked up shortwave, right? She made SOS, calls until her battery died, and so she was on an island somewhere. She had already run out of fuel. She already landed.
There's hundreds of thousands of little islands.
Well, I know, but there are people that have looked
Search
and
for
looked and looked and looked and looked, and they can't even find her plane. And imagine looking for the stuff you're talking about, right?
Right.
It's fascinating. I mean, and I'm not saying it's easy and that they should have found it, but even that search is shockingly difficult.
Well, even you hear about these treasure hunters who know that the Spanish galleon sank in this area.
In this certain area. Yeah.
And they go searching for it, and it takes years and years and years, and they still don't find it. Sometimes they do.
Right.
But sometimes they find other stuff.
Yeah, sometimes they find other stuff.
Well, they're always finding other stuff. When they're looking for something in particular, they find other stuff. Yes.
Yeah. That kind of fast. These treasure hunters who search for these old ships, that kind of interests
Well,
me.
even World War II ships.
Yeah.
So this is going to sound.
There's groups of people that are looking for particular warships that got sunk.
So this is going to sound kind of morbid, inappropriate. Hopefully it doesn't. But for example, like we just had the hurricane hit the Gulf, or
Yeah,
not necessarily
Florida.
the Gulf, but Florida. So when that water gets pulled out of the Gulf,
You mean when it
And-
washes back out?
when it goes
Well,
out,
Tampa Bay got sucked
and
out.
so
Right.
when the water goes out, it's just like, I mean, do they send out a horde of drones
To see what's there?
to just scour the area and look?
No,
No,
because
'cause
the wind is
going
freaking
too
going
crazy.
ape shit crazy, and they
Yeah.
can't.
Well, I mean, not necessarily. No, that's not
Mm.
true. In the middle of the hurricane,
Well,
yes.
the eye, yes.
Yeah, but when there's guys standing out there and there's no wind at all, and it's like, yeah, I've never seen this before. I mean, I can walk out there half a mile. You know, that's what I'm talking about.
Wow.
Was when that tide is that low out there, and it's like 5, 10, 20 feet, and it's just amazing. That's when I'm thinking they should send out a horde of some sort of laser things that they use to do the
I don't. So when a monster hurricane,
topology.
yeah, when a monster hurricane is about to hit the coast, I don't think anybody's thinking about that shit. They're thinking about how to keep people alive and how to get the hell out of there because
Oh, come on! You've seen the
Yeah.
movie Twister. They come up with all kinds of these little things. These guys that are trying
out
to
of-
shoot things up into the eye of a.
And they make helicopters out of beer cans.
Yes.
And they go up
and
and,
then
there are
they
these
take
sensors.
belts and they strap themselves to some sort of underwater pipe system.
Yes. Did you see they're making a Twister 2?
Are they the same people? Oh, Bill Paxton's dead.
No.
Bill Paxton died.
Really?
That just made me sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but I think
That was a big one for me.
Helen Hunt is in it.
Helen Hunt?
Is she really?
You gotta
I
be
bet
careful
she does
saying that
not
name.
look good.
Twister 2. Oh, isn't happening.
Oh, the terror
The
continues.
terror continues.
I thought I saw, unless it was a fan-made preview.
No, it doesn't look like it's
Uh,
happening.
Yeah, that one right there, Twister 2.
Yeah, she's
Oh, 2023. You're not lying.
Yeah.
well, you know, got that old style. It's a Casper Van Dien.
Casper Van Dien. He was in Starship Troopers.
Starship Troopers. Yeah, that was a movie.
That was good. I liked it.
Yeah. Interesting. All right. Well, I'll have to check
They got
that out.
any audio on that?
I love Twister. The original Twister. Great movie.
Things should start to improve into the morning hours.
I'm sure it's a rehash of the first one, just bigger.
So let's
She-
check out Helen Hunt.
She doesn't look bad.
See how much makeup she's got
Oh,
on.
I'm sure they have tons of makeup.
She's got Bisquick.
Moment what are believed to be tornadoes or hurricanes are causing massive destruction.
F2, is that bad?
That's a fairly large storm.
Oh, did you see that bike that was stuck in the middle of that car?
Is there anything bigger, like an F6?
That's like a nuclear bomb going off.
Did you hear that?
Wow. So they were showing the
See,
buildings.
it's just bigger.
Well, I mean, it's the same thing, right? I mean,
It has to be an F6, which I don't think it exists.
Yeah.
they didn't say that, did they?
No, it doesn't go that high.
No, but they didn't say that, did they?
Yeah, in the preview.
Oh, God. F5 is as high as it goes.
I always thought Helen Hunt was cute.
Perfect storm.
Not anymore. All right, so this is obviously a thriller. So
Oh, that'd be fun, though. Anyway, the first one was good. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
don't overdo it.
Steady storms all my life.
Why do
All right,
they have
we
to go
can-
over the top with it?
All the warning sirens are down. When tornadoes come your way, you're not going to know it.
And the thing's probably going to be 30 miles across.
Yeah, there's been some. Remember the Wichita Falls one?
Oh,
No.
those things could be,
Unbelievable.
how
just-
wide was that one?
Miles.
yeah.
It's amazing.
Amazing.
Don't piss off Mother Nature.
And
No, don't.
it's one of those things. Would you rather go through one of those or a hurricane?
Isn't it the same?
No.
Well, there's no flooding with the tornado, but there's just there's just utter destruction in both.
in both, but
But it's different. You
but-
have a warning with the hurricane.
well, the tornadoes are
Days of
much,
warning.
much smaller. I
They're
wanna say-
more localized and more
Oh, they're
destruction.
tiny compared to a hurricane.
But-
Tiny.
But the destruction that they do is
Oh yes, it's
look.
devastating.
You got a lot of you've got a lot of water damage through an incredible region with hurricanes.
I think the destruction level for a hurricane is obviously bigger, but
Yes.
to live through one, you have a week warning potentially for a hurricane. I want to get out.
To get the hell out of there. Yeah.
For a tornado, you may have a minute, 2 minutes.
Have you
the
guys
max.
ever experienced a tornado?
100%, yes.
Yeah. So what was
Big
it like?
time.
Like they came really close?
Oh yeah, yes, big time. That's probably 10 or 11, and it was up in Cincinnati, and that's another big tornado area up there. Believe it or not.
Tornado Alley.
And I remember the sirens going off, and it just getting, when a tornado comes, the clouds get a different color.
Yes,
It's
green.
like green, and it gets
so weird.
It gets
Why?
eerily quiet,
Yes.
which
yes.
is weird. And but we had basements up there, so I remember we were all in the basement.
Yeah, that's very lucky.
And half the basement was finished with a big pane window looking out the backyard. So we were on the unfinished part, so we were in the basement part.
Yeah.
And you could just hear it.
Sounds like a train.
Shit flying everywhere. The siren, you couldn't hear the sirens anymore, but it was fucking loud. Once it was all done, we went outside. Destruction everywhere, just shit everywhere.
Really?
And it was a tornado that bounced down our street. It hit every other house.
Yeah.
And literally leveled homes?
It ripped roofs
Yeah.
off of the houses.
It would you can clear them straight to the foundation.
Oh, yeah?
Well, this one didn't do that. It lifted, it took the roofs off of every other house.
Unbelievable.
And it bounced
and
over
no one
ours.
got hurt? On your street?
No one died. No one died. It went right down our street, and it bounced over our house.
Damn.
Straight over our house, and it hit the house behind us. There was a huge tree back there, probably hundreds of years old, that got uprooted.
Damn.
Just
So
pulled it.
what did they say? What whatever?
I was back
F3
then.
or F2?
I didn't pay attention to it back then.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Scary.
But it bounced, so it probably wasn't a huge one like that, but it ripped roofs off of houses.
Yeah.
And like I said, trash was everywhere.
So you didn't throw like an empty whiskey bottle out of the basement
I just finished
into the sky?
I just finished my bottle of Jack.
Yeah.
So I was like, damn,
and
let me go out
it
and do it real quick.
never hit the ground.
No.
Oh,
No.
well, that part would have been cool.
But that was my first experience with one. It was scary.
It is super scary.
And we've had a couple come through, and one went through. It was a little bit farther from the house, but I remember riding my bike up there. I was probably 14 or 15 years old, and me and my dad and my sister got on our bikes and went up to where all the destruction was.
Oh, wow.
And it was around one of the all-girls schools, and I was riding around the parking lot, and a bunch of nuns started screaming at me.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
And they were yelling at me to stop.
Okay.
And what happened is power lines had fallen.
Oh, no.
And I was riding straight to them.
Oh.
And I was probably 20 feet from them. And I jammed my brakes on because I didn't know what they were saying, and they were screaming at me.
Right.
Like 3 or 4 nuns, because it was a Catholic girls' school.
And
they
you were
all
about to ride over the cable.
into them.
Oh, yeah.
And when I stopped, they were sparking. But I didn't see them because I was looking around and
Yeah.
doing
oh,
this
my
kind
God.
of thing.
What a nightmare.
Right. So I was riding straight through. And like I said, the power lines were right across the parking lot, probably a foot off the ground.
And you're like,
Oh, my
what? And
God.
you're like giving, fuck you,
Yeah,
nuns.
shut up, you stupid nuns.
Yeah, I was here last week and I banged 2 of those girls. Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
I don't believe I said
What's
that.
wrong with you?
What's wrong with him? He did it.
Yeah, why did you do that, Jeff?
You son of a bitch.
They were good.
You ever regret what you did to the nuns?
I don't believe
Whoa,
it.
you did that to the nuns?
Well, no.
No wonder they were yelling at you.
Well, I don't know.
No.
Keep driving, keep driving.
No, I don't know if
Come to us. Come to us.
I think I was probably embarrassed. I think I just kind of sheepishly rode away.
But they saved your life.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
They probably did.
That's crazy.
Probably
That's
did.
crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's quite an experience. You know, we've gotten lucky. We're in Tornado Alley. A lot of people don't know that.
We're on the bottom edge of it.
We are literally
Yeah,
in
but Tornado Alley
There
isn't
is-
something that's in stone. Tornado Alley is something that
Well,
it kind of evolves. It just keeps
it does.
migrating.
But my point is, everybody thinks, like, where is the worst part of Tornado Alley? Like, where do tornadoes hit the most? People think Kansas.
Oklahoma.
Yeah, they think Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska.
Missouri.
In Texas, where we are right now, I mean, not South Texas, but Where we are, we're on the southern edge of it. You're right.
Correct.
Just as, I mean, I've looked at statistical charts before. Just as much chance and occurrence as Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska.
And the big ones have hit here.
And we've been lucky. I mean, I've lived here for 30 years.
Well,
and we've
some of those people lived down in Florida for 30 years.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Did you see that dude? He was in a shrimp boat, and
Was he out
didn't leave. It wasn't Forrest Gump.
Oh,
It
there's
was,
always people that don't leave.
There was this dude. He was just like, he seemed like he was in his 60s. And he was like, I didn't leave. Just want to stay with my boat. And his boat's all fucked up. And he was that's on the side. He was
But he's
like,
alive.
He's alive. He's
So
like,
the-
oh, it was tough. It was real tough.
But
So
his
the boat literally got swept into the land,
it's
and
like,
he was
Yeah.
on it.
It's
Yeah,
in a
he was on
neighborhood
it.
now. It's on top of a condo.
Can you imagine how he got tossed around?
Yeah, well, it had those big arms on the side, and they were still intact. And I think those arms really kind of helped because it would help him from
Keep it from like flipping over and
keep him
killing
from
him.
flipping over, and it would probably prevent him from going down certain.
He should have put the
streets.
nets out. He probably could have got some air and
No shit.
Fly.
Like the Rocket Man.
yes.
Rocket Man. What's that?
Well, the guys that fly through the things that we talked about.
Oh, those squirrel
The
guys.
Squirrel
guys.
Man.
Squirrel Man.
Squirrel Boy.
Get your shit right.
Did you see, if you have to go to Florida, the new articles I'm reading there are a bunch of alligators inhabiting the homes.
Oh, cool.
Oh, that's great.
Yes.
Do you have insurance for that?
Alligator insurance.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're starting to
Like
find
just
it. They're starting to
swimming
find
around tearing up your shit.
they're starting to find alligators in all the neighborhoods and shit.
Yeah,
What a nightmare.
And I had that question. I was like, so where are all those alligators?
Yeah,
gonna
you
go?
better be careful if you're going out there.
dude, I am fucking bringing my gun.
For sure. Or you're going to need a bazooka.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. You don't want to go
That's-
wading in that freaking water, man.
Nah, that's crazy.
Well,
There's sharks down there too.
yeah, they got a video of a shark that was swimming in the middle of the street. But by the time I
saw
get
one
there,
that was an orca jumping as well. I don't
a
think
lot
it
of
was
that water
real.
will be subsided before
orca?
I get out there. I don't even know where I'm going yet. I could be going to the Carolinas. Who knows?
I'm probably in more danger than you are. I'm going to Chicago.
Perhaps with
Yeah,
your
no
mouth,
shit.
you probably get shot there.
Really? Yeah, I go around picking fights with people.
You're gonna post up.
I'm from Texas, man. Back off.
Come on, man.
Oh, they'll be like, no, I'm not gonna go there.
Yeah, way more guns than we do.
Yeah, they probably do.
You need to get some
Considering
of
you
the.
don't have one while you're traveling.
Yeah,
Right.
You need to get some of the stuffed pizza while you're up there.
Stuffed pizza.
The Chicago style stuffed pizzas.
Are you allowed to carry a gun now in Chicago?
No,
No, hell no.
I thought that they just passed a law.
no, that was New York. No, they didn't pass a law. The Supreme Court shot down a New York law. I don't know exactly what it was, but they shot down. The Supreme Court ruled. It's right before their abortion ruling. It was like a boom, boom, boom type of thing for the Supreme Court.
Right.
First one was the New York gun law. They
So-
overturned.
I'm allowed to carry a gun in New York now.
I believe so. You may want to
well,
confirm that.
I don't know if there's called a, what is it, reciprocal, I don't know how to say that word in a noun form. But there are states that respect the laws of other states, right? So like Colorado may not accept Texas's reciprocity. I can't say the word.
Reciprocity.
Reciprocity.
Reciprocity or whatever the word is. Yeah. So
Reciprocal.
So there are states that recognize other states' gun laws, and so you're able to carry your gun into that state and have the same rights.
Well, if you have
But there are some that do not.
I don't think New York is like that.
I do not. 100% is not. So if you cross the state line and you get pulled over and you tell them, yes, officer, just like to tell you that I've got my concealed handgun in my car, they handcuff you and take you away. Even though 10 feet earlier you were in a state that yeah, we totally recognize
Right.
your right to have that gun.
Right. So there's the Chicago stuffed pizzas.
There they are. Beautiful.
There's two of them up there that
Deep
are
dish.
and they're good. I mean, it's not your standard pizza, obviously, as you could see.
Right.
I've had there's two of them up there that are famous. I can't remember what they're called. They don't taste like a standard pizza, but there's
That looks more like quiche.
no, not at all. It's a shit ton of cheese and all your fillings, and then the sauce is on top.
Nice. I see that.
And It's good.
Oh, it sounds good. My stomach's going.
Really good. Yeah. There's a quiche.
So it says here 37 other states. So the Texas license to carry gives you reciprocity,
I know, it's
reciprocity,
hard to say.
reciprocity
Yeah.
with 37 other states.
Is
Yes.
New York one of them? In California?
This is one of the main benefits of having a CHL. Is New York one of them?
Reciprocity. Reciprocity.
Reciprocity.
Reciprocity.
Reciprocity. Reciprocal.
Did you guys go to school
Reciprocity.
in Texas or something?
Actually, I failed out
I
at a
didn't.
very young
You
age.
failed algebra? Is that what you said?
Well, I failed everything. Yeah, do the pronunciation. I think we're saying it wrong.
It's reciprocity.
Reciprocity.
That's exactly what I
Hey,
said.
first off, you got it wrong.
Reciprocity.
You got it wrong 10 times before that, so don't.
No, that was
act-
Sean.
Don't
No,
get it.
no, no.
It was
You can't claim the very last
Recipro-
one you
well,
got.
we have it on file because both Jeff and I said it correctly the second
No,
time.
neither one of you said it right.
Reciprocity.
No. Well, now you're saying
going
it right.
Reciprocity.
Reciprocal.
Reciprocity.
You were just like,
Reciprocity.
Reciprocity.
and no, New York is not one of them.
Yeah,
No.
of course not. Neither is California.
Yeah. So Washington, Oregon, California, Minnesota. Yeah, California. Go
Wow.
figure.
All the Democrat-run
Minnesota,
states.
Illinois,
No, they're listing the ones that don't.
New
do it.
York, Connecticut, Massachusetts.
Oh, these are the ones that do not.
They do not.
Yeah.
New Jersey.
They're all Democrat-run cities.
Yeah.
states.
Yeah, hardcore. So you know, I was my family, my dad's side comes from New York, and they were sharing stories where you're not even allowed to have bullets. And there was my uncle was, I guess he had gone traveling, did some hunting, and he had like a bullet in his pocket,
Like a
just a fucking bullet.
an
What if you have one?
unfired bullet.
What if you have one of those keychains with a bullet on there?
Well, I'm pretty sure it's not.
You're going to jail, pal.
It doesn't have gunpowder in it.
Is
I
that
think
the
kinda-
qualifier?
I don't know if
No,
we
it
had
doesn't
test or
have.
not, but they found it. You can get in trouble for that. I mean,
There's
it's
a kid
finding
that
a
got-
bullet.
There was an elementary kid that got suspended from school because he had a shell.
He brought
A spent shell.
You brought
Yeah,
a
that's stupid.
briefcase bomb.
Oh,
No,
that's what it
the
was.
Irving kid.
So
Oh.
you can buy guns. You can buy guns in certain areas, but you have to have a license to buy bullets.
They're looking for many ways to keep you from being able to protect yourself.
So you can magically have your bullets,
Right.
but you're not allowing you to buy it, or you need a special license to buy the bullets.
Right. Yeah, it's fascinating. Our producer's playing with Google Earth, and it's really fascinating. There's so many amazing places in the world, and just
Go to Martha's Vineyard. Let's see if we see any illegals.
oh, there's a whole bunch of migrants there.
they moved them to the
Army base.
army base out there.
Yeah, well, they lasted a
read
long
s-
time.
I read. I don't know if it was a joke or not, but there was a bus of illegal Venezuelans being bused from New York to Florida
As like a
because they want to come down and help with the recovery because they'll get paid for it. So they want to work. They're like, we'll get paid $15 an hour. We'll
to
get
help
fed.
clean up Florida.
Correct.
Oh my God, we'd need a lot more than that.
I don't know if it was a joke or what, but the way it was phrased is bus of illegals coming down to Florida,
Right,
being shipped to Florida.
right. So they're being returned.
Yeah, that's what it kind of read like. But then you read the article, they're like, yeah, we want to come down to work to help clean up Florida.
Right.
It's a mess down there, all the way up to South Carolina to North Carolina. Part of Georgia.
Yeah, yeah. Where is it right now? Is it still pummeling
No.
something?
No, it's
No.
gone.
Is it out to sea? Okay,
No, it's over the U.S. It's just storms at this point, if it's anything.
okay. It's
Well,
just
the last time
causing flooding and stuff, I'm sure.
the last time this time of year, a little bit later actually, when the hurricane came up, it went up to the 100-year storm in New York, New Jersey,
Right.
where it flooded.
That
telling you.
Sandy,
Yeah,
Hurricane Sandy.
Mm-hmm. Didn't that one wipe out like Atlantic City?
It hit New York real bad.
Yeah, it caused serious shoreline problems.
Yeah. Did you see the meme I sent you where, I think I sent it to you, where President Biden vows to make the next hurricane named after a black woman?
Oh, that was a joke, right? Please tell me that was a joke.
Well, I was making fun of his
Oh,
Supreme
my-
Court thing. where he's
we might as well finish up this show talking about politics because there's so much fun going on with this.
So
I mean, that
awful.
stupid bimbo going to North Korea and saying the ridiculous shit and the shit she said down in about Florida about how they're going
you're
to
talking
spend
about
our
Harris.
tax. Yeah,
Harris went to
Camel Toe
South-
Harris.
She went to South Korea,
Yeah,
but she said
but-
the Republic of North Korea.
but
a great long time
But she was on the
alliance.
border, and she was like, they were like, well, it's 50 meters over there. She was right on where they did the announcement. It was on the border of North and South.
yeah,
where she had her little
the DMZ.
Yeah, the demilitarized zone. So, but then she was talking about Florida and how they're going to send money down there. But it's first the people that get the money first are going to be people of minorities and
It
women.
needs to be based on equity.
Yeah, that is so retarded.
And everyone,
Because the low income,
these tragedies hurt them the most.
yeah, like communities of color are impacted far more.
Well, the leader of FEMA was like, "Yeah, that's not going to happen."
That was awesome, by
Yeah.
the way. FEMA, that was not a Florida.
No, that was FEMA that came out.
Right,
The
that's
head
a
of FEMA
federal agent.
the
That's
head
a
of
federal
FEMA
agency.
says, "No, we're not doing that."
Yeah, and literally said her comments are not helpful. She's causing panic,
Right.
and she's causing confusion, and she needs to basically shut the hell up.
Right. Yep. She
And
got called out.
And that was not a state thing. And that's my point, because DeSantis and
Well,
he's-
DeSantis said the same thing. He's like,
the
"Yeah, that's
devil,
not gonna
right?
happen." Oh,
He's
I
the
know.
devil to anything federal,
Yes.
right? Of the Biden administration.
Well, Biden's going down there to meet with them.
Huh? You know what? They should put all that stuff aside when
Hopefully
there's
he can. Well, he went
there's
to
a lot of people suffering in Florida right now. A lot, like they've lost everything.
well, he went to Puerto Rico. That's where he's coming from, I think. Biden was in Puerto Rico.
Right.
Says we're going to give you $100 billion or whatever.
God, they get wiped out every year, don't they? Doesn't it seem
Seems
like it?
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. It's a tiny island,
Yeah.
and they get wiped out every year.
But he hasn't made it to our border yet.
Well, that's kind of far away.
I think Puerto Rico is a little bit farther.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm not good with geography, but I'm just saying it's kind of difficult for him to go
Biden's
down
such
to
a
the border.
jackass. I can't get over that he's even made it president.
I know.
I mean, I am over it, but it's just remarkable.
Well, it was also the footage that's recently happened is where he asked the dead lady to stand up.
Oh my god!
Oh, yeah, that was awesome.
Where's Jackie?
Jackie,
Oh,
are
my
you here in the
God.
room?
Yeah.
There was some commentator on Fox News. She was just like, "Hey, look, I miss my mom and think about her a lot, but I don't sit there and call out for her."
Yeah,
You know?
because she's top of mind.
She's top of mind.
She's top of mind.
Well, what
top
did the
of mind.
reporter say? Well, John Lennon's top of mind, but I don't call
I
him
don't
out.
call. Yeah, where you at, John? John, are you in the room?
Hey, shout out to John. Hey, how you doing? Ba, 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 ba,
Somebody
ba.
find out where he is.
God, how embarrassing
So
was
bad.
that?
It's
His
literally
staff was probably had their
so
hands up
bad.
in the air, shaking like, "No, stop!"
Right, and then every time he leaves the podium, he's like wanders around aimlessly.
Well, that's another one when he was over there in Europe. Wasn't he in Europe?
Yeah, I
And
think
he
whatever
stops
summit.
talking, and he just kind of wanders off to the side. He doesn't know what to do.
He reminds me of. I'm sorry.
No, and the other announcer starts talking. Like
Who's
he was
not on the stage.
Yeah, so he starts talking like, "Thank you, Mr. Biden." He's like, he just kind of stands to
And
attention.
He stands at attention and he's looking at the podium he just left as if that person's standing there talking,
I think he's thinking,
but he's not there.
well, I bet he's like,
And he's like-
should I go back to that podium?
No, he's probably going, is this my conscience talking?
He reminds me of like Chris Farley. Remember on Black Sheep when Chris Farley goes out there and his brothers in Black Sheep the movie. You've
Yeah.
seen that? His brother's a politician, and he goes in that one room. He's smoking a bunch of dope, and he goes out there, and he was like, "Oh, well, we got to fight for this because we're oppressed, and kill Whitey." That's just saying this off the wall shit. That's Biden,
Yeah,
Mr. Chris
it's
Farley.
so bad. It's so bad.
and they've got some pretty cool stuff that Trump has put out. What is it, Governor, the ex-governor Huckabee? He's got some sort of literature that they're putting out for kids that talks about Donald Trump in a positive light. That says these are the fantastic things that Donald Trump has done during his last administration. Because they're not teaching it in school, so they're now it's available. You just kind of write in and they'll mail it to you. It's free literature for children. It's got a bunch of cool little cartoon things on there,
Yeah.
and this is what Trump has done. And regardless of what you've heard, this is what they have. Some people don't like Trump for different reasons, but this is what he really did to try to help, which I thought was pretty cool. Speaking of Huckabee, did you guys know that Sandra Huckabee?
Sarah, she was sick.
Sarah. She had cancer.
Yeah, thyroid cancer.
And she beat it.
Well, thyroid cancer, if you're going to get one, and that's the one you want to get.
Because they can remove the
well,
thyroid.
they can remove the thyroid, and it's still not
and then
guaranteed.
You take thyroid medicine, or
I mean, it's still something you need to keep track of. But I think it's, again, I don't know, but I know a couple of people that's gone through it, and they have the thyroid removed. So,
yeah, that guy Scott you met at Oktoberfest had a thyroid cancer. And it's he's a musician and a singer, and it said it fucked him up.
Yeah,
he's really disappointed with it. And I said, "Well, how'd you get it?" He was like, "Bad luck."
Yeah. Did you see that Trump sued CNN?
Yeah, suing him for
that came out today,
shitload of money.
$500 million essentially.
Yeah, so basically he's trying to pull what that one kid.
Nick Sandman?
Yeah, the one that had the Indian guy banging the drum.
Yeah, well, you know
they
what?
trashed the shit out of him.
It was defamation of character because, they said Russia, 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 and none of that was true.
They were lies. 100% lies.
I wonder if it'll go anywhere. I hope it does.
I hope it does too.
Because in the article I read, they said they paid Nick Sandman because it was supposed to be undisclosed. You can't release how much we paid you. Somehow, I guess it got out. They paid him $275 million.
Amazing.
Wow.
And that was not the first person. Like he sued, like
the Washington Post. And
he said
Amazon.
he was going to sue 6 or 7 of them.
Yeah.
And I know he already settled with 3 of them.
Well, I mean, that's why CNN's getting their balls kicked. I mean, Kyle Rittenhouse has sued the shit out of him too now.
Or he's about to.
He's lining up.
Yeah, he's about to.
And he's queuing up a bunch of people.
I love it.
LeBron James, he's going to queue his ass up.
$275 million.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That has to hurt CNN. I wonder if that's why AT&T dropped their ass. They're like, you guys are getting too expensive. You're not making me any money.
That is awesome.
Well,
That's awesome. I can't think of a better punishment for a
but you've got. I mean, you got to think about it. I mean, who's funding CNN? I mean, is it the George Soros?
No, AT&T owned them for the longest time, and then I think Warner Brothers bought them, and I think Warner Brothers sold them to, I don't know who owns them now.
Yeah,
but they were corporately owned, not one person.
Oh, they're cleaning house.
We'll see.
They got rid of the Brian Stelter guy, and
he's now a professor at Harvard.
Oh, yeah, because he's qualified to be that.
Well, it's not that he's qualified. What he is qualified to do is
tell lies,
taint people's brains, and teaching them
to lie to them.
Something that's not true.
Yeah,
their narrative, and he's the perfect place for him.
So, do you guys think there's a waning? I feel like there's a waning in the narrative that the midterms is going to be the red wave that everybody's talking about.
Well, Nancy Pelosi.
But then now there seems to be like another push to bring that back into the.
Nancy Pelosi seems to believe that Congress has. She just went on some sort of news conference, and she was just like, "No, look, we're doing absolutely fine."
Right. And meanwhile, she's apparently doing a world tour because they're calling it the farewell tour.
Well, she
knows that she's not going to. She's going to be done.
Well, she also is pushing to be the ambassador for Italy.
Oh God! So we're going to still have to hear about her.
She'll be
she won't.
She wants to be the U.S.
ambassador.
So she's going to basically be working with that right wing. And that's another thing. There's
the Marxist.
Yes.
Yeah. So but
Mussolini.
You've got even Sweden just came out in the news that they're hiring a right wing. I don't know who's in charge of Sweden, but is it a president or king or what the fuck?
Well, they're socialist. They're socialists over there.
Yeah, but they just hired someone that's right winged, and so they're going to start changing things around.
Well, I think the lady who just got promoted to prime minister in England, I think she is on the conservative side.
I'm telling you,
they're saying happening. She's more along the Margaret Thatcher side.
People are starting to kind of be fed up with this bullshit woke
That's right. That's
tax
exactly
spend.
what it is.
Yeah.
And the thing about Sweden, which is specific, is that you can go to Sweden and you don't have to necessarily. If you lose your job, you still get paid. I mean, they
Right.
pay tremendous amount of taxes to make that happen. But you've got all these people that are coming into the country because they've got this policy that says you just come in and we'll take you. What, I don't know, is it no border, whatever they call
Open borders.
the open border policy.
Well, they have these no-go zones.
Well,
Where-
yeah, they have the no-go zone, but the point that people that are in the no-go zone are getting paid. They're getting paid, so so tax, all their money is going out the window. So they're getting really sick and tired of it. So they're bringing in these right-wing people to try to control that.
I
Well,
love
they're
it.
going to have to lock the border down.
Good Lord, yeah. Eventually, that's the plan. That's the long-term plan. At least that's what's on the table right now.
Yeah.
Well-
I think there will be a push. We'll see. So what are we? We're about a month out.
From
Yeah,
what?
we're a month out.
A month out from the elections,
From
bro.
the election.
Oh,
That's a big deal.
When does early voting start here in Texas?
no.
Has it already started?
Well,
don't know.
TikTok. So we're 2 weeks out right now for the next podcast. You're going to be taking off.
I'm going to be in Chicago.
So you'll be gone, and I'll be gone for 1 or 2 sessions back to back.
I'll be
Oh,
here.
you think you'll be out there for 2 weeks?
Well, I'll be gone for 2 Tuesdays.
Well,
You
then
know?
we'll move the second one to Wednesday. We'll
Well,
be back.
that's why I was going to leave Wednesday, but you're leaving Monday, so it won't matter. But
Okay.
whatever. Well, we'll figure it out. It's October 4th. It's the second edition. We had fantastic bourbon.
It was Penelope, by the way. It
Yeah.
was really good.
Penelope Architect.
Yes.
Dudes like us. I'm Sean.
I am Paul.
And I'm Jeff.
Shout out to Mr. Producer, Mr. Austin.
What's up, bro?